Hello everyone and welcome back to more Eternal Darkness.
My education in psychiatry did not prepare me. I would love to see how Freud's view of his mother would change with the knowledge of Chattur'gha. How Skinner would incorporate Xelothoth into his behaviorist theories. How Jung would accommodate Ulioth into his theory of the collective unconscious. Like my ancestor Maximilian, I too had an interest in my family tree. As a psychiatrist, I believed that science could provide answers into my family's sordid, bizarre past. It was with great excitement that I began my search. The mansion's history was filled with my colorful predecessors. Everything from convicted and hung witches to committed madmen, each laying their own peculiar mark on its character. I intended to find their secrets.
As you can see, we are playing as Alex's grandfather. I think his name is Edward. One thing you can say about him, he is definitely determined. You gotta respect somebody who's tenacious. So here's a file if you want to read it. One of these files, I think it's this one, has a piece to the clock in it. Yeah, there it is. So we have to put together the clock so that we can do what we did before in the first video, where we did that clock puzzle.
You know who I am, Edward. Although you are doing your best not to believe it, I am, or was, Maximilian Roivas, your ancestor. I died in an asylum after trying to warn the world. The pain and anguish I felt in that cell has empowered me to linger after my death. I must complete what I started, Edward. The darkness must be stopped, or all of humanity may end. Sets the clock to the 33rd minute of the 3rd hour.
Oh, sure, game, if you just want to give me the puzzle solution. There's another codec for another spell. I don't remember which one that is. What he doesn't tell us is what he did to get himself locked in that asylum. Oh no, friends, it was not just him believing that there were monsters out there. Although, in some places, that will do it. If you plan on doing fighting, you'll definitely want to pick up as much ammo as you can. There are some pretty big fights in this chapter if you choose to engage in them. The first part of this chapter is pretty chill. We're just running around collecting stuff. Yeah, that's your fault for not getting out of my way. You didn't like that, did you? You jerk. So that does give me time to talk about a few things. I was wondering if that dude that we fought as the monk was that guy Anthony or Antony. I can't remember his name. Turns out it is. So at the end of his chapter, he got turned into some sort of a zombie creature. So that's kind of interesting. Also, that was Kareem we saw the ghost of in last video. That might have been obvious to some of you, but again, I don't see too well, so I wasn't entirely sure. And I believe we also saw the girl that we played as in video 2 at some point. The sound design for this game is quite good. I'm enjoying the rain sound effect. It's probably stock sound, but whatever. I'm enjoying it nonetheless. Something else I noticed. The voice cast for this game. I can't remember her name, but the chick that voices Alex, I've heard of her before. I don't remember what I've heard her in. The voice actor who plays Anthony is Cam Clark. He voiced Leonardo in the 87 Ninja Turtles series. He was also Liquid Snake in Metal Gear Solid. And he played that dude that liked to be punished in Drakengard 3. If anybody remembers that game. I can't remember the character name. Otherwise, he was very polite. I've seen him in other stuff, but those are the main things I can think of that I've heard him in. The voice actor for Kareem is the same voice actor who played Ricky Maru in Tenchu 2, Birth of the Stealth Assassins. He also voiced Luis in Resident Evil 4, and I think I've heard him in something else too. I think I mentioned the voice of that monk that we played as was the voice of Roy Campbell in Metal Gear Solid. Yeah, we have to put both of these clock handles in. And they already told us the puzzle solution. So now we just need to do that. Once we get them both in. There we go. So a couple different people from Metal Gear Solid, which is pretty cool. And a couple people from the Legacy of Kain series, which is also quite cool. That I'll talk about later, but we are about to have a cutscene.
Only hope. Destroy the Guardians, Edward, and avenge my wasted death.
Well, our boy Edward here is up to the challenge. And speaking of other voice actors and Legacy of Kain, the voice actor for Maximilia, or whatever his name is, that ghost dude that we just heard from, he was Michael Bell, who voiced Raziel in the Legacy of Kain series. I know I've mentioned that one. However, the guy who voices Pius, the villain of the story, he voiced Mobius in the Legacy of Kain series. He was in pretty much every game except for Blood Omen 2, which doesn't really count. And you know what this means. Weird shit's about to start happening. There's another magic spell. I believe that's the summon horror spell, if I'm not mistaken. Again, I can't see too well, so I couldn't read it. And I never use that spell except once, so it's not one I think about too often. I do love this purple magic. Oh, I remember what we're about to deal with. This will be massively edited. I assume she was turned into a monster, so I'm putting her out of her misery. If she wasn't, well, sorry? She's just an NPC anyways, it doesn't matter. I was trying to finish her off there, but he won't do the finishing move. I'm pretty sure she's a monster, though. Let's face it, she's female, so of course she's a monster, right? No, we're not one of those channels here. We don't ascribe to blind discrimination of a group of people. You'll want to turn on your Reveal Invisible spell so you can see this thing. I'm not sure if it's a vampire or what it is, but it acts like one at the very least. We have to engage it 3 times in combat. Each time we fight it, it will regenerate. And it will kill your servants. If you can rescue them, you get rewards. However, I could not find him in time the first go around, so in my running around, this is where I engaged him in combat. I'm not sure what they were going for with this kind of a mechanic. It's not one I love. It's not the worst thing in the world. It's more time-consuming and annoying than anything else, and caused me a lot of editing. I think that was the biggest problem I had finding it, was that first go-around, though. So had we saved that first person that it went after, we would get a key which would give us an elephant gun. Whatever the hell that is. I assume it's big and powerful. I wish I had the invisible spell on, but I elected not to put that on in my haste to try to save my servants. And each time we kill this thing, that unlocks one of these seals, which is cool. So we saved this dude, so we get something that doesn't really matter too much. I believe that's ammo. The additional gun would have been nice. I'm going to end up with plenty of ammo for it that I can't use. There's a section where I thought there was a major fight, and I kept running out of ammo before I realized, oh hey, I can avoid it. I don't actually have to fight in that sequence. Get out my way! So that does a couple of things. I believe we get a key. There it is. And that's the final unlock for this thing, which is cool. It's interesting to me, this voice cast, because they have a lot of representation from Metal Gear Solid and Legacy of Kain. Combine those two, and then you're going to use the enchant item to repair it. I default to red since we picked the green god. I assume that's the one we need to go with. Metal Gear Solid, from what I remember, was known as one of the better voice-acted games, if not the best at the time. Late 90s through early 2000s. But I've made the argument several times that the Legacy of Kain games are at least as good, if not better, voice acted. So it's interesting to me that they picked voice actors from both of those two series. Yeah, before you engage that in combat, definitely destroy that stone first or it will respawn. Eat my servants, will you? Nobody eats my servants but me! Wait, what? That's not right. That could either be taken in a cannibalistic way or a sexual way. Either way, it's bad! Well, okay, the sexual way is not necessarily bad. It depends on the situation, but more often than not bad. The cannibalistic way, well, that is bad. More ammo that I'll never use. And another gun that I used quite a bit during what I guess we can call test plays. I'm not sure if I'm going to use it in this video. But you've seen shotguns in games. Hell, you've seen shotguns in this game. And you've seen pistols in this game, so you know what they're all about. It's all good, baby. It's all good. That does show the attention to detail that these devs were going for, that they were able to get a good voice cast together, and for the most part I think the voice acting is quite good. So it does make sense they would get voice actors from Legacy of Kain and Metal Gear Solid. I would save your game here. Although what we're about to deal with is not going to be a huge problem. Actually, no, the next room. If you remember, we had to fight a guardian in this room. Which was not too much fun. Alright, I waste some ammo here. I probably didn't need to do that. But I put on my invisibility spell so they can't see me and decided to just take them out. I should have enchanted this gun first. That would have helped. So I easily could have just saved where I originally was saying to save and walked past them. But I didn't. However, they're dead now, so it doesn't really matter. I'm not sure why the jump cut there, but you didn't miss anything. So this is the part where I thought we were put into a bit of a fight. And I'm waiting here for this thing to kill this horror for me. It can still see you through the invisibility, but this thing can't. So I am wasting some time letting it kill this thing for me. But it will be one less obstacle when we go running around through here. As you can see, there are a number of green barriers. One of them we do have to take down with Dispel Magic. And again, use your strongest one. And I was prepared to fight this thing. I say prepared. I don't know that I was prepared to fight it well. But either way, I got it out of my way and I just decided, you know what? Screw it. If I don't have to fight it, I'm not. And we come to this lovely room. I think I might miss showing off one of these on video. But whenever you walk on one of those wires, you just step on it and press... I want to say it's B, but I'm not entirely sure. And this is the second half of this chapter, which is at times kind of annoying. And there will be trappers in here sometimes, so for some of these, you want to be careful. So that's all we need to do here. There are a lot of these that are that simple. You just walk over there and activate the symbol. So we have a 7-point circle of power. That's the best magic we can get. What we're essentially doing right now is creating a 9-point circle, which is basically the equivalent of a magical nuke of sorts. You'll see what happens later on. If you remember when we played as our boy Max, the guy that's voiced by the same guy who voiced Raziel, a few videos back, he mentioned that there were a ton of guardians. He defeated one, but there were still plenty more underneath the house. We see one there. We're going to see a few more throughout this area. Now it's time to activate the second of these. There we go. Well, basically what we're doing is creating this big magic nuke spell so that we can get rid of these guardians. And that's going to happen a lot. I'm going to get stuck on the environment a lot in that room. It happened a lot more than you guys will get to see. The product of me being blind and this environment having a lot of stuff in it. And again, I like going with the invisibility because that means I don't have to fight anything. Or if I do, at least I get the element of surprise. There are trappers in here. Now, mind you, I did not want to fight this thing. I'm just wanting to target the trapper so I can get rid of it, so that I don't have to worry about being sent to the trapper dimension. But they're kind of far away, which is why Eddie here wasn't targeting them. I hear another one. That'll be later's problem. Okay, that'll be now's problem. Damn you, Trapper! Technically that was later. It was just only a few seconds later. That's what you get! And like I said before, I'm not showing me going through the Trapper dimension, because it doesn't really serve a purpose. At this point, we have all the magic spells we need, and can refill on anything that that dimension has to offer, so it doesn't really matter. Oh, and how about it? My Astros actually pulled out a win yesterday. And as I'm editing, I can add this in. They won yesterday too, so that's 2 in a row. Calm down, Eddie. Keep it together. I was a little confused as to which direction to go at first. Once I got my bearings, I was good. You will be getting a magic refill of sanity here in a minute. I'm so glad I don't have to fight those things. I really don't like fighting those guardians. There's 1 or 2 that you have to engage a little bit, kind of like that first one, just to get them out of the way. But otherwise, you don't have to actually defeat them. Which is good, because they can be a pain in the dick to fight. I wonder where the hell we're being teleported. Some of the mysteries of this game, I guess. What's happening and why? Come on, Eddie. Keep it together. Keep it together. It ain't that bad. And in case you're wondering, yes, this is pretty tedious. And no, this is not the only time we get to do this. We will be doing this in the last chapter as well, which is pretty repetitive. Different puzzles, but we are still going to have to do this again, and I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of the last chapter, actually. Even though we finally get to play as our gal, Alex, it's kind of a waste of her chapter. Yeah, tough shit. We're not sticking around to play with you. We got something in mind for you already. So that should be 3 down. And I do always worry about accidentally cutting one of these when I'm video editing. I'm pretty sure I didn't, but you never know. There should be 9 of these in total. I know we haven't seen them yet, but some of these will have trappers in them. Only 1 or 2, but they will still be there. Granted, I don't know why they have them in there. So how you guys doing? I hope everything is going well in your world. Right, this is actually a simple one. Right, I think he does have a liquid that will refill his sanity. I never used it. No one cares. You go Pargon yourself, asshole. I know this is a long video, but imagine how much longer it would be if I actually stuck around to fight these things. We would be here for an hour at least. Instead of almost an hour. Ha! You thought I was joking about the trappers. I was not. And I wouldn't blame you if you thought I was joking, because I joke quite a bit. Again, we are playing against the green god, so we want to go red. There is a lot of that in this game. It's definitely a benefit to you to know which color works best against which other color. Oh boy. Don't go insane. And another Guardian's in here. And I believe this is the room that we will be running through several times. The first several of these were pretty simple, but now we're going to have to run through multiple rooms with this thing wanting to play. And I don't want to play with it, nor with the enemies that it spawns. Oh, Zantac yourself, jerk. And they're not really too difficult to dodge either, which makes fighting them even more pointless. Granted, if these were just zombies or horrors or something like that, I would have taken them down. More than likely. I could actually see me skipping them anyways, but most likely I would have taken them out just to have them out of the way. But Guardians, they take a while to go down. Generally speaking, I can't remember how quickly I took down the one that we had to fight. I might have actually taken that one down pretty quickly with an enchanted shotgun. But we also don't have a gun that's nearly as good. I can't help but wonder who the hell builds something like this. I know that's always the question in games. Tomb Raider, Resident Evil, Eternal Darkness. Use your strongest magic attack here. There are plenty of trappers in there, and it's an easy way of getting rid of them. So now we're unlocking multiple locks. like I mentioned before, we're unlocking this. That's going to take us back to that room with the Guardian, which will take us back to the other room with the other annoying Guardian. I don't know what you want me to say at this point. This is the second half of the chapter. There's not really a whole lot exciting going on here. Screw you. Oh god. I do get stuck on that area a few times. It would be kind of nice if they would vary these things up and give us a few guardians of the other gods. It makes sense why they don't, but it would be a nice variation. Come on, Eddie. You can do it. Keep that stamina going. Our boy here doesn't have the best stamina, from what I remember. I think it's interesting how many things you can actually miss in this game. There are a ton of sanity effects that you can miss, and plenty that we did not get in this playthrough. There's also that purple magic which you can miss. Fortunately, we got it. And the sword that we are going to use for the final boss you can miss. Although that one's pretty easy to get, so you really should not miss that one. There we go. I've already lost track of how many of these we've gone through. In this area we get yet another Guardian. I believe this is our third one we've seen in this area, and there are more to come. So once we flip that lever, we are going to walk all the way around this circle until we come across that Guardian. Unfortunately, we are going to have to engage it to dispel its magic barrier. This LP has become my 10-year anniversary special. I'm not sure which video is going to be posted on the 11th of November, which I believe was when my first video got published, but there will be one scheduled for that day. And it might actually be this one, I'm not sure yet. So that's pretty cool. Here's where you want to dispel magic so that we can get by. Yeah, we're not playing with you. I had a lot of ideas of things I wanted to do for my 10-year. I wanted to create this whole big story where all the games that I've LP'd were put into one universe. But that required effort that I didn't want to do. I also thought about doing a video where I reacted to my first video, which is no longer public on my channel. Then I had the idea of doing a Barry Burton reacts to my first ever video. But all that required effort and I'm too lazy. Come on, Eddie. Don't slow down now. So that's now 3 Guardians we've had to deal with. There's at least 2 more. Obviously, if you do take them out, then you don't have to deal with them anymore, but then you have to deal with them in the first place, and that's never fun. I think this one I skipped showing me activate. I'd walked around a little bit and then didn't realize I'd stopped recording when I'd activated it and saved. What can I say? Mistakes happen sometimes. I know that after doing these videos for 10 years, these types of mistakes should not happen, but they do sometimes. Hey, at least I didn't miss the purple magic, like some people I won't name, who did an LP in 2014 and missed the purple magic. By now, you should know what to do if you're walking around in that room. This was the hardest one of these for me. You've got trappers and you've got a guardian. And that guardian is going to spawn zombies. And we have to engage it to dispel a force field that it's got. Plus, there are a lot more trappers. At this point, I was trying to remind myself that I could add spells to the quick button so that I wouldn't have to always go in the menu. But I couldn't always predict which spell I was going to need to cast in which chapter. Get out the way! That kid's did not work for some reason. Oh boy. Eddie, keep it together. Don't lose your marbles yet. We're almost done. Like I said before, the Guardian can still see you even with the invisibility on, but any zombies that it spawns won't. So that's why I'm going invisible here, even though this means that I can't see where I'm going. Dark area, dark character. It's rough. But we made it, and thankfully did not have to go through that other room with another Guardian. If I fought these things, we would be here forever. This video would at least be an hour long, I'm sure. Hopefully this is the last one. I think it might be. Don't quote me on that, though. I've already had to mute myself a few times for starting to talk about things that ended up not being accurate. And activate! Huzzah! We did it! A 9-point spell that unfortunately we cannot possess for ourselves. I guess because the magic is too great? You'll see the results here in a minute. It's significantly stronger than the 7-point spell. Right, this is a different room and another Guardian. Don't want to go that way. And this is another one that in order to get to this lever, we are going to have to engage it in combat just a little. And at some point I get sent to the Trapper dimension here. And I'm not quite sure where to go just yet. That's why the walking around. Fortunately, there's not a whole lot of places you can go. You hear that? That's the sound of you need to get the fudge out of my way. Damn you, force field. Have some of this! Ha! You didn't like that, did you? You jerk! That's alright. You'll get your comeuppance. It's only a matter of time. Oh good, I went with the shield. That's the one that makes the most sense here. Oh god. Fortunately, we now unlocked that room so we didn't have to walk all the way around. And now we can get the hell out of here. And fortunately, no enemies respawn. That would be pretty annoying if they did. And just run up to the top of these stairs and you should be good.
Do you bring news of disaster, Augustus?
And if not, we wonder why not, since disaster has struck.
Yes. Your colony of Guardians in the ruins of Engar has been eradicated. A great magic wrought massive destruction there. Not a single Guardian escaped.
Your concern is touching, but out of place.
There are other Guardian colonies. The loss of one is meaningless.
That is the only disaster you report?
Yes, my magnificence. There are no others.
And what of your treachery to us?
Treachery?
All in good time. It matters not that you bear us ill will, Augustus. It will come to no end. You lack the power to destroy me.
Or even elevate yourself to our level. The future has unfolded before me through a vision.
One of my many visions.
A vision of my conquering the absent horror. Ulyaoth, master of the plains. The magic of the plains is no match for the power of the mind. And thus, it will be destroyed.
Then the gate shall be opened, and you shall once again grace the earth with your presence.
Well, I think we'll have a little something to say about that, but that will have to wait until next time. Thanks for watching, and I will see y'all then when we continue on with Eternal Darkness. Okay, there's a little reading first. Whatever. And our girl Alex is going insane. I mentioned that before. It seems like every time we come out of one of these chapters, her sanity is really low. Thanks for watching. I'll see y'all next time.